when we're talking about Japanese games, the Yakuza series is easily one of my top five. I mean, you just cannot go wrong with Kiryu, Ichiban, Nishiki, and the others. They're just all fantastic characters. There's really a character that I just like. They all have great roles with their main story, their character story, and even the sub story, which is so goofy, but it's such a fascinating part of the story and actually makes me want to complete all the sub stories, and I think that is a mission accomplished. That stuff is great. But beyond that, the fact that we got the reveal for free Yakuza game, that completely blew my mind. The fact that we're getting Kiru once more, seeing him return to the outfit. Granted, he had that new gray hairdo. I don't know what that is, but the fact that we're getting Kiru back after all this time in all three games, especially where Yakuza Ishin is concerned, I think that is cool because this is basically Kiru returning, but in a different time period. And the thing about Inshin, this is a game that was strictly in Japan, but now it's a remake that's being shipped to here for the first time. And I think that's great that they're actually going all out for this remake of an old game. Cause I thought at the bare minimum we just would have got just a localization. But the fact that we're getting a remake on top of things where they're going to improve on certain things that people fans dislike they didn't like, or improve things that improve the quality of life improvements and improve the character model. Even the character models have been changed, and with the more recent Yakuza Zero, all those characters have been imported into Yakuza Ishin. And for Yakuza Ishin, I think it's a great way to test the waters of having Kiru still in your game. Because the thing about it is, I have seen a lot of people complain about how why is Kiru still while he's still in the Yakuza series, it's Ichiban's time to shine. And while I do like that Kiru is appearing in Gaiden and Yakuza 8, well, I do think if Inshin does well in both Japan and the United States, I do get the sense we could potentially be looking at a series on just that time period alone. It would be separate for the mainline Yakuza series. But the thing about it is, you could do whatever you want in that time period because it doesn't follow any of the mainline Yakuza series. It doesn't contradict anything. So anything can happen there, and it would have full liberty to do anything that they wanted. And I think it would be a great way to explore opportunities or miss scenes that they couldn't do in Yakuza Zero. I mean, in the Yakuza series, they can actually implement them in this series and actually do it out of much more greater skill. Like, say for example, with Majima not having the girl that he loves, he can actually do that in the in the in that other series, in the spin-off series where he actually gets to have a happy life. And that'd be great for all Majima fans. Majima really has a depressing lifestyle, and for us to be able to get some form of that, even if it's not actually Majima, in that spinoff, I think it would be a great pleasure to see. Or even where Kiru actually live more happily, and he actually have a more peaceful life with Haruka. I think that would be great to see how they can spice things up in this new entry. Because I do think they're not going to change much in the story in Yakuza Insha. I'm pretty sure that the story is going to stay relatively the same. But if we're talking future games past that, if they actually decide to go that far, it's a whole different territory. And it doesn't even have to be. Spinoff doesn't even have to be as big as the mainline Yakuza series. I'm not expecting that because that would require a lot of development time. That would require a lot of manpower. But even if it's just half the length of a traditional Yakuza game, that's still a lot of content given how many hours you could spend in the mainline Yakuza series. Even just half of that, it's still a lot of hours. That's still like 20 plus, 10 to 20 plus hours. That's still a lot of time to do everything that you want to do. And for them to introduce that, I doubt for them to introduce Yakuza Instant like this. I doubt this is the last time this is the last time we're gonna see a Yakuza game in this time period, especially when they said they were inspired by Ghost of Tsushima. And when you say that you were inspired by Ghost of Tsushima, I do get the sense that they're more open to making more game in that time period or similar to Ghost of Tsushima. And I mean, it just gives me great hope because again, that time period is such an interesting place to explore. It's so very fascinating what liberty they could take with it. I do think they could go balls to the wall with that time period. Because when you got something like the Ancient series, where you got something like the mainline Yakuza series, and then the Judgment series, like their book is stacked. Like so many fans will buy that if that actually happens. So I'm praying to God that actually does happen because the Ancient series has a lot of potential. I feel if they actually decide to go that route. But let me know what you think of the potential of that series going beyond just Inshin or Ken Don for that matter. Do you let me know if you think that we deserve more moments of Kiru and Majima, but in a different time period? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the next one.